My last project pan update was September 28th, and I made a promise that I would not do another update unless I had finished the rest of the projects in the project pan. And here we are, it's December 31st, the day that I'm filming this, and I am happy to report that I'm finished. I figured since I only have 2 products to update you on, that I could also do an update to my plan to pan video. At the end of last year, I talked about 8 products that I wanted to finish this year, and so I thought I would update you all in one video since both of them are going to be relatively short. So let's start with the 2 project pan items. I'm going to save the most exciting for last, and I'm going to first talk about the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter from the Film Star Bronze and Glow Duo. And I finished the highlighter side finally. I only had, I think, 3 of the corners left. Everything else was gone, so it didn't take me long to finish. I went through 0.74 grams of product, and now the empty packaging weighs 86.61 grams. I do have so many other beautiful bronzers and highlighters in my collection though, so I don't need to go buy it again, but if I were, I would probably purchase the mini version of this. And now, last but not least, I finally finished the last 2 shades from the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad. I am so glad I chose to try and finish this as my Pan That palette for 2023 because it has completely changed how I feel about Pan That palette projects. I mentioned in previous videos that I had always wanted to do one, but I wasn't sure and I could never really make it work with the other things that I wanted to do with how I like to wear makeup. Just finishing those last 2 matte shades from this palette were so difficult. It took me so much longer than I thought it would. I really thought I'd be done with this entire quad within like the first quarter of the year, maybe the first half of the year. But no, it took me up until December of this year, the entire year, to finish this quad. Since September, I've reached for that pink matte shade 27 more times to finish it, and the brown shade took another 46 uses to finish. So 9 products that took me throughout the majority of the year to finish. I did finish a lot of other makeup throughout this year. This was a big like panning year for me. I don't imagine next year will be that prolific of an empties year. I don't know why I thought of the word prolific, but I'm not gonna have nearly as many makeup empties next year as I did this year, just for lots of reasons. But I did have 8 products that I planned to pan in 2023, and I do have those with me so I can go over those quickly today as well. Some of them were already mentioned in this list. Obviously, if I wanted to finish them in this year, it would make sense that I'd put them in a project pan. The Charlotte Tilbury highlighter was one of them. This quad from Charlotte Tilbury was one of them. And so was the blush from Milani and Luminoso. So those 3 were on my list of things to pan in 2023, and I did finish them through the project pan. And then I did have a handful of other products that I wanted to finish that I just figured I would go through organically. One of them was another highlighter. It was a mini Becca Champagne Pop. I was able to finish this one. I wore it a lot at the end of last year because I kind of wanted to get some work in or get started on it to make it more easy to finish in the following year, and it was a really beautiful shade. I know you can still buy it, I think, through Smashbox. I don't think I would. I don't really wear powder highlight as much as I used to, and I still have plenty of other powder highlights, so I don't need to go grab this again, but it was nice, and I love the packaging of these little minis. I have a couple more of them, and I love them. And I did have 2 other eyeshadows that I wanted to finish. One of them was ABH Stone. It was a single, and I mentioned in that Plan to Pan video that I mostly use it as a contour now. It was a really, really light gray brown, and so it was perfect for putting just right under the cheekbone here. Sometimes I'd use it as a crease shade, sometimes I'd use it to contour my nose if I was feeling extra fancy, maybe the jawline as well sometimes. I don't really contour that much, and if I do, I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury contour. I think it's just a little bit softer, a little bit easier to work with than a powder, but it was good. I had had this for a long time, so I'm glad to have worked it out. And then the other single shadow I did not end up hitting my goal on. It was a single from Makeup Geek in the shade Petal Pusher. I really thought I wouldn't need the entire year to finish the quad from Charlotte Tilbury, and it ended up taking me the entire year, so I wasn't able to focus on Petal Pusher as much because it does serve as like a crease shade, much like the shades from the quad did. And so I did reach for it. I do have some progress in here, but it's not fully empty and there's still quite a bit left around the edges. I don't mind bringing this into 2024 with me because I really like the shade and the formula still works well, but it's actually the only product out of the 8 that I wasn't able to finish. Actually, I did declutter one because it went bad on me. It was one of the liquid lipsticks that I wanted to go through. I had 2 mini Stila ones, a full-size Nabla liquid lipstick in the shade Sweet Gravity, and then I had a Dose of Colors one. I don't remember what the shade was. When I went to use it, I realized that the formula had changed. It wasn't good anymore, and I didn't love that shade enough to make myself wear it as a cream blush just to get it finished. But I was able to finish the other 3. I have Bachi and Perla. I love these shades, and I loved Sweet Gravity too. These were all great cream blushes, and I was able to take the stopper out and use them all the way up as cream blushes. I love using liquid lipstick as blush. I think it's a great formula for that. And the very last one was a lip pencil from Urban Decay. It was in the shade Bittersweet. It was a beautiful purple shade, and I didn't wear it on my lips too much just because I don't really go for like a bright warm purple like that as much anymore as I used to. I actually used this as a cream blush and I loved it for that. I would draw a little bit on the back of my hand. I would either just use that on its own or I'd mix it with a cream highlighter or something. And it just created such a beautiful, bright, warm blush color, or it paired well with other things, or I could pair it with a cooler tone color and make it warmer, make it more purple. It was just a really nice way to customize my cream blush to make it whatever color I wanted, and I really enjoyed it for that. I learned that tip from Sarah Rose, so thank you, Sarah. I watched one of her shorts about it and a light bulb went off in my head and I was like, that's so smart. But yeah, I really enjoyed using that, and I will likely use my lip pencils as customized cream blush shades in the future. So that was everything for both of those video updates that I wanted to do. Before I close out, I just wanted to extend a thank you for following me along as I go through this project panning journey. I've been doing it for 6 or 7 years now. I've always had so much fun. I've always learned so much, not only throughout my own panning, but just from everyone's suggestions and comments and your encouragement. I just appreciate it so much. And I'm so excited to see where 2024 takes me, where it takes all of us. So thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!